So yesterday when I was out in the car, I was stuck in a queue coming back home, and there was this chap at the side of the road, and he was dancing, and he wasn't just sort of moving a bit to the music he was listening to. He had his headphones on and everything, but he wasn't just a little bit moving, he was going for it, dancing. And as I was sat there in this queue of traffic, the people walking by him and all sort of looking, thinking, you know, what's all that about? And it just struck me again how suppressed we all are. I mean, all this chap was really doing was expressing himself. He was flowing in the moment of listening to the music, and he was actually allowing himself to express himself in public. I mean, if he'd have put a pot in front of him with a few coins in, and it had been obvious that he was doing it for money, then that kind of would have been acceptable, and he wouldn't have got the strange glares from everyone that walked by and drove by. But because he was just literally there doing it for the sake of doing it without any inhibition, he was literally just doing what he wanted to do, people were looking at him oddly. I mean, if he was doing that in a nightclub, or like I say, if he was doing it for money, people would have thought nothing of it. But you can just imagine the looks as you know, as people walk by, what the fuck is he doing? And you know, as I watched this, I must be honest, I had this like twinge of envy, because it seemed like he'd almost got further down the line of being his true self than I am. I mean, it's all, you know, I don't like to use the word a journey, but it is a journey, and you know, I am kind of on a mission to be as close to my true self as I am. But this chap obviously just felt like, sod what anyone else thinks. I feel like dancing, I'm just going to dance as I listen to my music. And you know, what admiration I had for him. It was just, good on you, you know, why let everyone else and what people, you know, what everyone else is going to think affect the way you feel and what you want to do. But you know, there's so many situations in our day-to-day lives where we're just suppressing ourselves. I mean, if we feel joy, like real joy, like something amazing happens, how many of us actually sort of jump for joy? Or if you're out in the countryside and you suddenly feel sort of a spring in your step, and you kind of, you're all alone, but you kind of still have this awareness that other people might see if you like twirl around on the spot with your arms out. Or, you know, you're sort of watching something in nature and it's moving, but who actually allows themselves to connect with their own emotions so deeply and really in the moment that they maybe, you know, sort of shed a tear with the emotion if other people are there. And we're so restricted by this worry of what other people think, and not just that, but of the social norms of what's, you know, where it's socially acceptable to dance, or what age it's socially acceptable to skip. I mean, you just imagine if you're in a really, really good mood. I mean, people don't even want to go walk down the road smiling because people will look at them like they're odd. You know, if inside you feel happy, it's like we have to suppress all these feelings, and we have to suppress who we are. And it's another extension of this mask that we all put on. This impression, and we want to give the world this, what we think is acceptable, what will appeal to other people. We want to present ourselves in a good light, and it's almost like we're permanently wearing a mask as soon as we leave our front door. I mean, who doesn't have a bit of a dance at home? I know I do. I love singing and dancing at home, but would I do it in the street? No. I kind of wish I kind of looked at him, I thought, should I do that? You know, it would be quite good to give it a try, but I'm not quite at that place yet. But you know, we do suffer so much by the culture's expectations of us, how we should behave. You know, it's okay for a child to go skipping down the road or spin around, you know, when they're out on a walk or in the playground or something. But if an adult does it, then everyone's going to think, you know, you're a bit loopy. And I kind of think the more loopy people behave, in actual fact, the more they're just being real and their true self. So yeah, it kind of got me thinking again, and I saw this guy and I thought, oh, you know, still kind of not there. I mean, who knows? Maybe he was trying to impress someone in his own way, or I don't know, maybe he had some ulterior motive and he wasn't being his true self. That's not really the point. The point is that we all have this mask that as soon as we leave the house we put on, and we're basically interacting with other people's masks. It's like a mask interacting with a mask. No one's actually truly communicating, truly authentically speaking from their heart. I mean, how many times do people say, I know it's just a sort of trivial thing, but when people say, oh, how are you, everyone always says fine, or likes to project this image of everything's going well. People don't speak to each other from their heart, from their truth. They speak from this mask, from this what would I want this person to think of me. And I know I still do that myself. I'm so much further on than I was, but I still do it. I still think, oh, what are people going to think? Even with this video and doing these videos, you know, what will other people think of how I'm speaking and what I'm saying, and everything like that. But when we're sort of communicating from mask to mask, not only are we not being authentic, we're not letting anyone see the true us. And so if we don't let people see the true us, then there's no truth in the relationships we have with friends and with our partners. If we're not speaking from our own heart, and they're speaking back from their heart, there's no relationship at all. There's nothing truthful and meaningful and joyful in that. And the weight of these expectations of the social norm is so huge. I mean, just imagine how freeing and liberating it would be to not give a shit what anyone else thought, and just to dance like that bloke was dancing. And you can't even really begin to imagine it, how light that would feel, that you don't even have to give it a second thought, because we spend so much time and so much energy thinking about how we should behave, how we should be. We want to look successful, we want to look good in the sort of stereotypical cultural way. We want to appear like we've got things together and that we're happy. We want to appear, it's important to appear like we're happy and positive people, we're fun to be around, that's important to present that. Oh, what a massive weight, what a crushing down weight. And the sad thing is, so many of us don't even realise we've had this mask for so long. We think we're being ourselves. I mean, I only realised that I wasn't being myself because of having a really bad illness that basically stopped me in my tracks and made me start questioning everything. And then as I started to question more and more and more and analyse my behaviour, I kind of realised, oh my God, I'm not myself in my relationship with my partner. I from the beginning, I'd sort of presented an image of a fun sort of young professional. I mean, I'm going back 10 years now, but wasn't myself at all. And eventually you just feel this sort of emptiness, and something happens to wake you up and make you realise, I'm not only not being myself, I'm not doing the things I want to do either. I'm not actually following my heart. I'm just sort of followed this treadmill, this conveyor belt of what everyone else does. And I'm not stopped to actually think, am I happy in what I'm doing? Is this really what my heart wants to do? Or is this what other people have kind of expected me to do, and society's expected me to go down this route, and so I've ended up here? And the result is unhappiness, and hopefully some kind of wake-up call, some kind of incident that makes us stop and think, oh, actually, you know what, I'm not being myself, I'm not doing what I want, and sod what everyone else thinks. From this day on, I'm gonna do what I want to do. And that's when life really starts to get better and to get happier and to be free. That man, that dancer, he was free. He was absolutely free, just expressing himself without this whole, it's kind of like a whole level, a whole barrier of fear around expressing ourselves. I mean, who doesn't, inside all of us there's either like a singer or a dancer or an artist, sort of, some kind of force of passion that wants to express itself in the world, and it's our truth, it's our true colours. So this is, you know, obviously something that I'm really passionate about, being able to be free to express yourself, to be yourself, to do the things that you want to do in the world. And I'm hoping to do more videos where I'll explain more of the kind of damage that it can do not to be doing that in life, you know, the disadvantages, well, basically the fact that your life is not even your own life if you feel trapped by these shoulds and conforming to what other people you know, expect you to behave like. And also to talk you through how I've at least made some steps. I mean, the difference in the last 10 years since I became ill, basically, and then made a decision, right, my focus is going to be on following my heart and doing what I want, having realised I wasn't really happy at all. You know, I look back and see some of the steps that really helped me to get over that and to be more free, and at least in the decisions that I make about how I live my life, to be more authentic and real. And as a result, I'm just so much happier, and I want to share those with you. So watch out for some more videos on this topic and how to get rid of that mask and be yourself. Thanks for watching.